Hi, everyone. I am adding my special guest to the live. Just bear patience with us. Hi.
Hey,
Hi, Valentina. How are
how are
you?
good at yourself?
I'm great. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's a pleasure to have you on the live tonight. How are you? Everything is great. Having a great Sunday?
Yes, it is, but I think there's some storms coming up, so it's flaring up my sinuses right now.
Oh, I did not even realize we were
Yeah,
expecting a storm.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, it's already 3 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m. I will give our audience some more time to join in because I do believe that we will have some people joining us tonight, whether
Okay.
it's from your side and mine. But I am super excited tonight because our audience, I want to tell you all about our special guest. Tonight, I am joined by someone who has spent more than a decade helping leaders and small businesses grow through authentic social media strategy. That's how special her work is. She's a seasoned marketer, a speaker, and the founder of Beyond Engagement Social Media Solutions. I want you to help me welcome our special guest, Valentina Escobar Gonzalez. Valentina, I would love for you to share a little more about your journey and what drives the work that you do with our audience tonight.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for welcoming me. And thank you, everyone who's here with us today on a Sunday evening. And I just wanted to mention I'm also co author of the most amazing marketing book ever. I wrote the chapter on Instagram. So this is a very inciting night that we're going to be here talking about this. But I'm a business owner. I've been in business for 14 years. Yes, 14 years. My business is a teenager right now. And I've been in business for, I've been in business for 14 years as a marketer, and I help companies, small businesses, business coaches, one on one with their social media strategy. And I also do group presentations.
Thank you. Thank you, Valentina. Before we dive right into our questions tonight, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's joining us on this live. It is Sunday evening, and you could have decided to spend your time anywhere else, but you decided to be here with us, and for that, we are very grateful. So, Valentina, let's dive right into tonight's topic,
Okay, let's do it.
which I think is just very timely and a
Mhm.
great topic, visibility with purpose, and why online visibility matters more than ever in 2026. I have friends all over the world, and the one thing that keeps them back from posting is they're afraid of being seen. They are afraid
Mm,
of what people will say. But
yeah.
you know what, Valentina? Before we dive into visibility, I would love for you to share with us
Mhm.
how you started, your story, because your journey is such a big part of your expertise.
So that's a great story. And again, I want to remind people it doesn't matter how you look. Like right now, my sinuses are killing me because of the storms that are coming tomorrow. But I have to put myself out there because if I don't put myself out there, who will? So this is an incentive for you, for the person that's watching, to always show up. Put some bright lipstick on, show up. But I started years ago when I was doing my MBA course, and everything that I was doing, all my projects in my master's program, was the answer was social media. Everything could be solved with social media marketing. So when I graduated with my MBA, I stayed in my last semester and there was no jobs where I was moving to. There was no jobs in social media marketing. So I identified a good business opportunity and started my business back then when people would call me a pioneer because no one else was doing what I was doing. I took a very big risk. People believed in the yellow pages. I felt that if you had a Facebook page, you can probably have a one-on-one conversation with your audiences utilizing your social media posts. So I identified an opportunity and I did that.
Wow, this is amazing. Let's just go back a little bit because I remember the days of the yellow pages. Now you
Yes.
don't even hear of the yellow pages anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
strangely, I actually did my master's in marketing with
Ooh.
oh yeah, with Salford University in London, partnered with Robert Kennedy College in Switzerland. And my
Wow.
dissertation was on social
Yeah.
media and
Oh my
how.
goodness. So we're gonna geek out on this
Oh
today.
yeah, so it was on
Yeah.
my dissertation. My thesis
Yeah.
was on social media and the
Yeah.
impact, both positive and negative impact that it was having on hospitality at the time, because we were
Mm.
just starting to see reservations popping up, people using online marketing and all of that, SEOs at
Yeah.
the time. This was just like
Yeah.
buzzwords, but
Mm-hmm.
now it's
Mm-hmm.
really the way to go. Now, as you know,
Yes.
Valentina, I talk a lot about confidence and self confidence and how we show up in the world. And visibility is such a big part of this. And I know we underestimate the power of visibility. But I also
Mm-hmm.
know that the digital landscape has changed so much. Tell
Mm.
us, why is online visibility more important than ever before, especially in 2026?
Well, the thing is, like, everyone's using AI. Everyone's using artificial intelligence to put themselves out there. But I think that you should use AI strategically by brainstorming. You have a couple questions. Maybe you have a couple of social media posts that you want to get out there. I would use AI to prompt me to come up with a better strategy with my storytelling. So I use that. But the thing is, visibility is so important. A lot of people, like you had said earlier in the conversation, they hesitate. They don't know what to post. They get analysis paralysis. They are type A, type awesome, and they want perfection. And the thing is that people appreciate the rawness. And I'm going to go back to my sinuses and, having all the sinus pressure in my face. I'm here with you right now. I showed up. I'm ready to answer questions. Even though I look like a hot mess, I'm here for my audiences. I'm here to represent my people. People appreciate the background, the heritage, the accent, where you're coming from, your lack of education or your education. People appreciate that perspective. So if you show up consistently talking about what you are known for, and the thing is that you have to know what you're known for, Pamela. Like, you have to know what separates other people. I'm looking at the people that are live here with us today. I want to acknowledge the people that are on the live with us. I want to thank you, and I'm going to remember who was here today. So I always think about those people. They all have a product or service that separates them from other people, but they have to constantly remind others about these services, these products. They have to do it, because if you don't do it, like I said at a summit last week, if you don't do it, who will? You have to do it. You owe it to yourself.
I agree, because
And there's mm-hmm.
visibility truly is showing up for ourselves, even when we don't feel like it. Like now, like you say, and
Yes.
just so you know, you're not a hot mess. You're pretty.
Thank you. It's a lot. Lipsticks can do wonders.
And
Yeah.
I always say people believe that visibility is perfecting your craft.
Hmm.
Until they're not perfect, until the product is not perfect, they're not going to put it out there. Until they're not dressed perfectly, that perfectionism really and truly does not exist in our world, especially in the world of business owners. What separates the millionaires from the poor is really and
Hmm.
truly visibility, them going out at it wherever they are. They don't think of the word perfect, they think of the word
Hmm.
ready. And once
Hmm.
they are ready, whether they are ready half the way, the full way, a quarter way, they will take that leap of faith. And that's
Yeah.
what separates the millionaires from the non millionaires. That's what separates the rich from the poor. That's what separates the successful people from the unsuccessful
Exactly.
people. I mean, I
Yeah.
have two businesses.
Hmm.
My core business is global speaking corporate training. My second business is a non toxic clean candle business. I
And I love
started
those
that.
candles, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I started that candle business last year in April because I
Hmm.
saw there was a need. And so what
Hmm.
I did a course in candle making, all the information are out there, and I figured, what am I going to do that will, I look for the pain point, and I started
Hmm.
where I was, got the name, registered it. Had I not do that, it would have just been an idea in my mind. So you
Exactly.
just have to start wherever you are. So
Hmm.
Valentina, I've noticed that what used to work, especially you and I have been in the marketing space for a while, and we
Yes.
both can attest to that. What used to work online really and truly doesn't always work anymore. Would you say that the rules have shifted, or how has the meaning of being visible changed over the last few years?
And it's so funny that you asked that because AI has changed everything. When you want to be known, people used to go for SEO, for Google searches. Now people are using AI. So how are you being found through the AI? You want to be found. You want to be visible. You want to make sure that when someone's checking you out and asking for something similar to what you provide on ChatGPT or what have you, that you show up. So how is this strategy we talked about? Being consistent, doing the blogging, doing the speaking engagements, making sure you show up on other people's website. So when people use ChatGPT to search for something, because people are using ChatGPT to search, not necessarily how others are using it for other reasons like brainstorming and content creation. So they're using ChatGPT to search, so you want to be make sure that you're shown there. Even with voice search, a lot of people are not typing anymore. They're using search voice search to be found. So using all these steps is how people can find you. I hopefully I answered that question. I think that's where you wanted to go.
Yes, yes, you have. And I always say we can use social media to our advantage or to our disadvantage, and it's the same as AI. I
Hmm.
recently gave a speech in Las Vegas last October, and the topic was AI, leadership, and the human touch.
That must have been a
And
wonderful presentation.
it was a great presentation because I really enjoyed the topic.
Mm,
Because as I say when I speak about AI and leadership, the leaders who are using AI and are learning to use it now are the leaders who will be ahead in the next 5 to 10 years.
exactly.
And as I say, we need to learn to embrace AI and not be afraid of it.
Hmm.
Because if we embrace AI, what we will realize is that we can see AI as the backstage crew. See us on stage and see AI as the
Exactly.
backstage crew. They're enhancers, it's enablers to make our work easier, and
Hmm.
see the human connection, the human touch as front stage, because nothing can replace the human connection. So AI is just so important. And as Valentina has said, what has shifted for the last few years is the integration and the birth of AI. And what are we doing as business owners to
Hmm.
ensure that we're tapping into AI now and not allowing it to get too late? There is this guy who I look up to on Instagram. He talks a lot. He uses a lot of curse words, but he talks a
Oh,
lot about
I know who you're talking about.
Gary. He talks a lot about making sure we're visible
Yeah.
online, whether it's on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And may
Yeah.
I tell you, Valentina, may I share with
Tell
you
me.
that a lot
Tell
of
me, tell
my
me. I want to know.
business, a lot of
Hmm.
my business comes from online.
Really?
I
Huh.
get a lot of online business, whether it's LinkedIn, whether some of my biggest candle sales from Facebook, from
Hmm.
posting. And that is why I keep preaching the power of visibility, because it is important. And I know this is your
Yes.
niche, this is
Yes.
your baby, this is your area.
Yes.
So my
Yes.
next question leads to the mistakes. You know,
Okay.
with all of these changes, I imagine people are still approaching visibility in the old way. Well, I guess some of
Hmm.
us are.
Oh, I can't wait to answer this question. This is going to
What
be
are
good.
what are some of the common mistakes you see leaders, especially small business owners? What are some of the
Mhm.
mistakes you see they are making when they are trying to show up online?
Okay, so I'm gonna focus on LinkedIn, even though we're talking about Instagram. So I'm gonna talk about LinkedIn. I'm gonna just say one thing, and I'm not even gonna talk too much about it. I want to make sure that you guys are listening to this one thing. So I hope that this is the most important thing. It's posting and ghosting. What does it mean by posting and ghosting? You post something, let's be specific on LinkedIn here, because we're talking about leadership and small business owners. LinkedIn. When you post and ghost, that's not a good idea. And what should you do? It's not so much about posting, getting up, going on to the next thing, having your sip of tea. It's more important to comment. The strategy LinkedIn is commenting. When you first hour, Pamela, it reaches 10% of your audience. So I make sure that when I post at a time where I know people can actually spend time and leave me substantial comments. So this is huge. Whenever I post, I always try to post on a Sunday morning when people are either going to church or what have you, or brunch. They have more time to leave me a substantial comment, not congratulations, happy anniversary, oh, two or one sentence or one word. No, we want people to leave a substantial comment. So the thing is, it's not posting and ghosting. What you want to do is you want to do engagement. And that's why I have my business name called Beyond Engagement Social Media Solutions. You want to provide engagement, you want to provide context when you're leaving comments on LinkedIn. So the thing is that when you post, it gets 1/10 the reach. When you comment, it gets 1/3 the reach. So your
Wow.
comments get more than your actual post. So again, let me wrap up. I didn't want to get long-winded. Don't post and ghost. Take your time and leave comments, because your comments, at least on LinkedIn, get more traction than your actual post. Be intentional, engage with people, start following the chambers or the organizations or the associations, and taking the time to follow and engage with thought leaders, because your comments show up to a bigger audience than your actual post.
Thank you, Valentina. Wow, this is very, very impactful, the comment that you just made, posting and ghosting. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that brings me to relationship building because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the times we believe we can do it all alone, but we really cannot. If you're
Yeah.
just posting and turning your back, people are not going to engage with you. People are not going to take you on. Whereas if you post, or even before you post, and I like this year's International Women's Day theme,
Mm-hmm.
give to gain.
Oh,
Even
I
before,
love it.
oh,
I
I
missed it. Repeat that again, because that's like a mic drop moment.
give
Say it
to
again.
get, give to gain.
Gain. Oh, I love it.
Exactly. Because if you decide you want to build, you must first build relationships. And building
Mm-hmm.
relationships means commenting on somebody else's post. Don't tell me out of the millions of people on LinkedIn that you can't find one person whose content resonates with you. So at
Yeah.
least comment, at least leave a like and engage with other people because all it
Mm-hmm.
does is to show that you care. And when you show
Exactly.
people you care, you will get more in return. There is this book I am reading now. Let me just share it with you.
Oh, I can't wait. This is gonna be good.
Oh, let me tell you. And it brings us all back to what we're talking about.
Never eat alone. Oh, that sounds good.
Never Eat Alone. It's by Keith Ferrazzi. It's such an important book because it talks all about relationship building. We're not,
Mm.
as especially for us as small business owners, it is
Yes.
so important to realize that we cannot do life alone. We cannot do business alone. We cannot do anything alone. And it's just like social media. Do not
Mm-hmm.
post and ghost because if you post
Mm-hmm.
and ghost, people will ignore you. So that was such
Exactly.
a great, thank you. I will forever remember that. Now,
Yay.
let's look at the how. For the people watching who want to show up with more intention, we hear that word a lot. It's like a buzzword.
Yeah,
And I want to make this very practical. If someone wants to show up with purpose, Valentina, where should they start?
that's such a good question, and that's it's so funny because the chapter that I wrote is called "Being Intentional and Memorable on Instagram."
Right.
I'm going to tell you a quick story. I found out that I was moving to Pennsylvania back in Easter of last year. I moved here to Pennsylvania in June. So by August, I had already met influencers and they kind of knew who I was, all within a couple of months of moving here from the area. And what did I do? I was intentional. I started following them on Instagram, looking people up through hashtags or geotags. I started noticing influencers. I started slowly but surely taking the time through months, weeks of engaging, looking at their post, commenting, liking, what have you. So then when I actually saw them in real life, they're like, oh, that's that Valentina person. And I was creating content, enjoying my first couple of months here. Here's the oldest big bookstore in America, supposedly, the one in Bethlehem. Here's this the music fest, here's all these special events that occur in this area, so people saw that I was a real person, I wasn't a bot or a fake account. So I was engaging and purposely taking the time to get to know these people. So when I saw them, fall, August and September, and they're like, how do you, my local client at the time, she's like, Valentina, how do you know and engage with these people so well? And I'm like, it's all in the book that I mentioned. It's all about taking the time to start looking people up through the hashtags, through the geotags, and just slowly taking the time to like and comment and engage with their post.
Wow. So
It
you
was,
would,
and I love it, and I love Instagram because it's you can do that as well on LinkedIn, but it's so much easier to do that in a way that doesn't seem, creepy and stalkerish. And
yes,
LinkedIn, on
yes.
Instagram, it's more purpose, it's more relaxed. It's like a cocktail hour. It's super relaxed doing it versus in other platforms it could be a little bit more weird.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
your advice to someone who wants to show up and show up with purpose is to be intentional. That's
Mm-hmm.
great advice. Thank you for sharing that. And we know there's just so much noise online right now, right? As much
Yes,
as
there
we
is.
talk a lot about visibility, and I keep saying we can use social media to our advantage or to our disadvantage. We cannot play a blind eye to the noise that we're surrounded by. And people often feel like the industry is always too saturated. Because even
Mm-hmm.
when I wanted to go into the candle making industry, I
Mm-hmm.
was
Tell
thinking,
me.
is it too saturated? Is it, but no, it's not. I believe there is
Mm,
a place for each of us. I believe
mm,
that there is space for all of us. And that's why I believe in collaboration and not competition. I
mm-hmm.
believe that the only way we can rise is by lifting up each other. The
I
only
love it.
way
It's like
we
the
can
rising tide.
rise is
Yeah.
by helping each other be seen. And anything I can do to help another business owner, I will. Even yesterday, I was down in Washington D.C. area, and
Mm-hmm.
whilst driving, I saw a farmer's market. And I was saying to my sister, I need to stop because I need
And
to
what did
go.
you
And
get? What did you get? Tell us.
I
Tell
got
us.
some nice tea. Oh my God, I'm actually having some now with
Ah,
blueberry and rose petals.
that sounds
And
yummy.
and I'm like, you know what? I need to
Yeah.
just, even if I have a pantry filled up with teas, I need to support another small business.
And that's so funny that you mentioned that, Pamela, because that's how happened. That's what happened was having brunch with ladies at a cafe for with the junior league. Shout out to my junior league. And I was having a brunch with them. I never do that. That sounds very, it's very fancy of me to do that, but I had brunch. It was a meeting, a business meeting for the junior
Mm-hmm.
league. And I stepped out, and there you were, gorgeous Pamela, there selling the candles, and then with your cute accent, I was like, I need to talk to her. And I'm all about supporting others. And I stayed and I bought a candle from you, remember?
You
And that's how
did.
our
You
stories.
did.
And it's funny because I want to I want to put this for the record since we're recording this. I had just finished working out on the treadmill the day before that day, and the treadmill had a video playing of where you're from. And I was like, this is so funny that I'm
Yeah,
meeting
you
someone.
mentioned.
Yeah. So it's like,
Wow.
back to your story, it's all about supporting other. I could have just walked, but I'm so, it's like you, I'm so curious, and I have this sincere desire to help other women and support other women.
Very true. Very true. But would you say the one thing that will help leaders or small business owners stand out would be authenticity, or would
Yes.
it be confidence? Which one would you say?
I think it's the authenticity, because to have the authenticity, you have to have the confidence. Like, for example, like, again, I'm going to keep harping on this. I'm a hot mess right now with the sinuses and a headache because of the storms that are coming. I get those barometric pressure headaches. So I have the confidence to say, you know what? I'm going to just put some crazy bright fuchsia lipstick and have 3 day old hair that I just left the salon on Friday. But I'm going to just show up for her. I'm going to wear my nice Betty Johnson glasses and show up. But
And here you
I have to
are.
have, I have to have that confidence in me to have that authenticity to show up. So I think you have to have the confidence first to be authentic. Because if you don't show up authentically, you didn't have that confidence to begin with.
Very
And I could be
true.
wrong.
No, you're
This could
right.
just be the sinus headache talking.
No, no, you're very right, because
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you have the confidence, you will show up for yourself in an authentic way. Because
Yes.
authenticity is our uniqueness. It's who we are. It's what
Yes.
defines you. It's your own unique value proposition as a person. It's what defines you. It's what defines me. And we're all very different. And that is why
Exactly.
I keep going back to lifting up each other. It is just so important, because that is why when I meet with other business owners,
Yeah.
I don't ask them for help. I ask, how can I help you? Because
Exactly.
this is
I always say that too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is just so important. I think we underestimate the power of helping someone else. Because I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you, it's through me helping others. That's why I am where I am today. The power of
Exactly.
helping each other grow. I will go out and I will see someone else selling candles, and I will buy
Mm-hmm.
a candle. I
Mm-hmm.
try my best not to buy candles that have toxic fragrances. But if I
Yes.
see another business selling soy candles with no toxic fragrances, I will buy it, because
There you go. I love
it's
that.
about support. It's about helping each other. It's about uplifting each other, because no man is an island. We were
Mm-hmm.
not born to do life alone, and that is why a lot of Africans, they live in tribes, because that's how they
Mm-hmm.
survive. We were not born to do life alone. And so
Mm-hmm.
this leads me to my
Yeah.
next point.
Oh, I can't wait. Mm-hmm.
Confidence is the world I live in. I breathe and live confidence. Was I always like that? No. But through trials and error and resilience, and I meet so many people who want to be visible, but they feel afraid. And that's what I said in the
Mm.
start. They feel unsure. Or they always say, you know what? I will. I'm just not ready. I don't think I
Mm.
am there yet. I think I am missing one thing. I think there's just something that I need to do to get to the next phase, and then I will start posting, and then I will start doing this. What
Yeah.
would you say to someone who wants to be visible but doesn't feel confident yet?
And that is such a great question, because I've experienced this in the 14 years that I've been in business. I've seen this over and over and over again. And I answered that question at the summit that I saw you in, and I answered at the panel, and I said, you know what? If you don't do it, who else will do it? Think about, and I this. now that we're this is being recorded, my inspiration is the cost of living here is so much more in Pennsylvania than it was in the South. So I owe it to myself, my children, my husband, to ask for the sale, to post my picture, to be visible. Because if I don't do it, who is going to do it for me? And that's my motivation. It could be something simple like I want to take my I want to take my family, I want to get my girls started in gymnastics. I want to do something for the family. If you don't do it, it's going to take, they say it takes 12, maybe 15 interactions after COVID to close a sale. So that means I have to see you, Pamela, 12 times before you become a client of mine. So I think about it, the more, what is the saying? It's going, again, I have the sinus headache. The more no's you get, the closer you're going to get to a yes. So you might say no to me 11 times and I'm going to go for the 11 no's, but I know you're going to say yes to me eventually because you see the value in what I do. You see me showing up on social media, whether it's a panel, whether it's just supposed to be just going live like right now. It's going to take that many interactions. And the most important thing is a lot of people think when it's posting on social media, but it's actually taking the phone, picking up the phone. And if you're not one to call people, text someone and say, hey, maybe you were in the middle of something. Maybe you were something going on. Maybe you're in the middle of a move. But that person wasn't ready at the time, but they might be ready now. And that's why you have
Wow.
to post. You have to post. You have to be force yourself. Even it's something. Even if you don't show up, maybe it's just a picture of a book that you're reading. Like you're reading a really good book. Whatever it is, maybe just a picture of a flower. It might be a picture of your product. You don't have to, you have to put yourself out there because it's going to do it for you.
Thank you, Valentina. I think you said it all because
Mm.
this brings me to a real life example. Last
Tell me.
week was my week of following up with emails, proposals that
Yeah.
I have been sending out from the beginning of the year. And I said, you know what, Pam, don't give up. Just keep following up. And I always believe a reply is
Hmm.
whether it's a no reply, it's a
Yeah.
great first step because it means this
Hmm.
person saw your correspondence. They
Yeah.
received what you sent to them. And I received so many responses to my emails. The first email, there was absolutely no response from some people.
Oh, wow.
And I
Yeah.
decided to follow up just to say, hey, I sent this
Yeah.
email to you 7 days ago or 8 days ago. I did not receive a reply, and I thought I would just
Hmm.
check in. And even sometimes I'll add a quote or maybe add a line of something happening in the world right now or
Yeah.
something. And
Hmm.
to my amazement, 100% of the emails that I followed up on, I received
Yeah.
responses.
That's wonderful. Huh. There
So
you go.
can you imagine if I had just taken silence as a no, if I had just taken silence as an answer, which of course it can be,
Yeah.
I would just think, you know what, they did not receive my email or they don't need me or
Yeah.
so just to add and reiterate on the importance of what you are saying, that
Yeah.
like you said, since after COVID, you need at least 12 to 15 interactions to close one sale. So, can you
Exactly.
imagine how many emails you need to send out before you can get one response? I
Hmm.
don't know if you've noticed, but I also noticed since COVID, I don't know if it's probably also the generation that we
Yeah.
have working now. A lot of people do not respond to emails.
They don't. So you have to text them. So it's 12 interactions. It's not necessarily 12 emails, but it's me seeing you at an event, one of those events that we both go to. It could be a text, it could be a LinkedIn post. So it's a LinkedIn message. So it's all those different avenues of following up with someone.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Valentina.
Yeah.
It's now almost, I did not want to go past 6:45. So
Okay.
what before we close today, what I want to do is to open up the session to know if anyone has any questions for us, because I believe this is such a great topic. I've had friends who, I know this friend of mine, and she's phenomenal.
Hmm.
She has her own television show, but every now and
Ooh.
again she'll tell you she's not posting because she's afraid of what people are going to say. She's not
Mm.
posting, and this girl has such great content. She's also a health
Mm.
coach. And she
Okay.
just one time she will post and another time she will not, because she tell you it's almost as if people are afraid of posting. So I do
Yeah.
hope that this live will help, at least even if it's just one person.
I
To
hope so too. Yes, because I see a couple of people that I know on the live here, and this is you never know what resonated with them. Hmm.
Yes, to take that leap of faith.
Hmm.
And if you want to start that business, start posting. Because one thing I know, Valentina, is
Hmm.
every master now in their field they were once a disaster.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins will share with you all the time. When he started, he hosted one event. And at that
Hmm.
very first event, how many people showed up?
One. It just takes that one person. Hmm.
And it took that one
Yeah.
person to go back and talk about it. By the next
Yeah.
event, I think he had 10 or 15. By the third
Mm.
event, he had probably 50. And now, Tony Robbins is rocking the world.
Yeah. I
So
love
the
it.
power of not giving up, the power of visibility, the power of putting ourselves out there. So I think this is such a timely topic. This is such a great topic, especially for business owners. And
Yes.
you know, I always love to end with something actionable, something people can do right away, Valentina. Because at the end of the day, this is such a powerful life, and we want people to take some actionable steps.
Okay.
Before we open for question and answer, tell me, what do you think is one thing someone can do this week? Anyone listening right now?
Hmm.
What's the one thing they can do this week to improve their visibility with purpose?
So that would be the commenting. If you're too shy to post something yourself, then take the time to comment on a post. Simple as that. Hmm.
Now, I see a lot of people on Instagram, and we know
Hmm.
it's different platforms. So, Instagram
Hmm.
is one platform, LinkedIn is another, Facebook
Yes.
is another. Which of the
Hmm.
platforms would you advise a small business owner if they are not on any social media platforms and posting actively? Which is one of the social media platforms you'd advise them to be on and start commenting and posting?
So it depends on what business they're in, but it would either be LinkedIn or Instagram, depending
Okay.
on what type of business they are. If they're a service provider,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it would be LinkedIn. A product, it would probably be Instagram. It just depends
Okay.
on the audience. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you, Valentina. Now we will open for questions. If any of you, if you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section, and Valentina or myself will be more than happy to respond to you. It's your time. We want to thank you for joining us today. Valentina, thank you. I know you're not feeling extremely well 100%, but you took the time again, being visible,
Yeah.
putting
Thank
yourself
you.
out there. You took that time to join me on the live. I want to thank you tremendously. And
Thank you.
it's our audience time for questions. Let's see if anybody has any questions for us. I see lots of people I know who's joined the live. Let's see if anyone has any questions. Okay. Do you have a story about an aha moment on social media? I will let Valentina go first.
Oh my God, there's so many stories that, oh, if I could just come up with one, oh my goodness. I can't tell you how many times I randomly follow someone on Instagram. And this is a perfect, like I read books. This is, yeah, this is a good example. I read a lot of books and I tag the author when I'm done reading the book for most of the books that I read, especially business books. I can't tell you how many times I tag the author and the author sends me a message. It's actually happened recently in my new life here in Pennsylvania. The Allentown Art Museum had a thing with the authors, and I read all three books. The three authors came from all over the country to come to this event at the Allentown Art Museum. And one of the authors, I was so much fun. I was direct messaging her back and forth for hours. So that's the power of social media, is that I can, and then I can start following that person, engage with them. And to tell you that that author eventually came here, she's from another state, from the Midwest, and then she joined my junior league and I, as we featured her book for a book club. So she took the time to join us on Zoom. And so that was a beautiful moment that I follow these authors. They messaged me back, and then they were able to join. One of them was able at a whole, and she took an hour of her time to join us for a book club.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing. That's a great aha moment. I had
yeah.
two aha moments recently. One where Emma Greed, who is, I am one of her biggest fans. You probably have heard or seen of Emma Greed.
Yes.
And she posted something and I reposted it on my Instagram,
Why? What
and
happened?
that's another way we can help each other. Helping each
Yes.
other doesn't mean buying a product. It could be just
Yes.
reposting somebody else's post or
Mm-hmm.
in your stories. And
Yes.
she reached out to me. I was
Mm-hmm.
over the moon. I mean, to
Wow.
hear from Emma Greed. She
That's
responded to my
crazy.
post.
Yeah.
And my next aha moment was last week. I posted something and
Mm-hmm.
someone reached out and said, "You don't know what you do to me. You
Oh,
inspire me." And she is a
wow.
small business owner.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, she is Hispanic. And she
Hmm.
said, "I am afraid of speaking sometimes because I don't speak English very well."
Hmm.
And this was a day that Valentina, no matter how confident we are, sometimes we doubt ourselves. And it was
Exactly.
a day, I won't say I was doubting myself, but I was
Yeah.
questioning, am I reaching
Mm-hmm.
anyone? Am I reaching anyone on social media with my post?
Yeah.
And this was confirmation that I am reaching someone. We
Yeah.
have another question. Somebody said, great discussion. Someone said, an account for LinkedIn is more for corporate or for a small business owner. I feel I see more corporate type of business on LinkedIn. I will let you respond to that, Valentina.
So I can say that you can be known as a thought leader. You don't have to be a corporate professional. It could be for small businesses. It makes you the thought leader in your industry.
Because if you own a small business, you are a leader. To have
Mm-hmm.
even come up with an idea, you're phenomenal to start with. And I
Yes.
can't begin to tell you the number of people who may be just waiting for your comment, your content. Some people
Mm-hmm.
are thirsty for knowledge, and we are all so different. And
Mm-hmm.
just posting something from your world with your expertise makes such a big difference. So it's not just for people in corporate, it's for people in, just imagine having a
Yes.
business. You started a business. There are many people in corporate who will not take that leap of faith that you've taken as a business owner.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
it is not just for people in corporate, it's for everyone who has a voice. You're a thought
Mm-hmm.
leader.
Exactly.
Someone said, brilliant, love that advice. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much for being here with us tonight. Any other comments before we wrap up? Any other comments? Now, Valentina, I will ask a question.
Yes.
Like one of our member of the audience asked, is LinkedIn for corporate? We have
Hmm.
many young people who they're in college or they're just out of college and they want to do something. They want to start a life. They
Hmm.
don't know where to start. Would you say Instagram is for them? Would you say by them posting that they can build a network, they might be able to get a job by posting? What's your take on that?
I still think that you have a LinkedIn presence. I actually spoke at Penn State and I did a class on networking and I specifically focused on LinkedIn. And I really do think that you have a thought leadership. You could talk about your internships or your job or the classes, an article you read. You can tag a professor, those sort of things. There's so much you can do with LinkedIn as a college student or a young professional. I think that's the place to be.
Now, for a small business owner, would you
Mm-hmm.
say they should have a page, a business page? Because I know with LinkedIn, as a
Mm-hmm.
business owner, you have the option of having a page. Would you say
Yeah.
they should have a personal account and a business page or just a personal account?
It just depends on the business and the industry. But I have both. I have a company page and I have a personal page.
Okay. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Valentina. It's now 10 minutes to the hour of 7. And I will ask again any questions for us before we wrap up. Today's topic was really, really, really interesting. And I can't begin to tell you how timely this topic is. The topic tonight is visibility with purpose and why online visibility matters more than ever, especially in 2026. And we know a lot of people listening to us right now. Some people suffer from imposter syndrome. Some people are
Hmm.
afraid of being seen. And Valentina and myself, we want to tell you if you want to be successful, especially in the age of AI, you ought to be visible. You ought to
Hmm.
put yourself out there. Now, Valentina, as we wrap up, what's the one message you want to leave with the audience before we say goodnight to them?
Just do it. Just post. Be consistent.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Valentina. Can you please share with the audience how they can reach you, how they can work with you?
Yeah, so just go to my website beyond-engagement.com and all my information, my speaking engagements, how to work with me, my blog post, everything is there. Beyond-engagement.com.
And for it's the two of us tonight, so there are lots of people following me who's joined the live and they may not follow you. How do they reach you on Instagram?
Yeah, so it's Valentina E as in elephant, G as in Gonzalez. Valentina EG. That's how you reach me on Instagram.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Valentina. And for anyone who's new to my world, you can connect with me at Pamela M. Robinson on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. What I do, I help young people, aspiring leaders, and leaders build confidence, communicate with clarity, and show up in this world with purpose. And I would love to stay connected with all of you. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And remember, visibility with purpose starts with one intentional step. And I want to wish all of you a beautiful evening. Thank you, our audience, and thank you, Valentina.
Thank you, everyone.